the United States of America, a nation founded on ideals of liberty, equality, and democracy. From the outset, however, these ideals were tested. The Founding Fathers, while espousing freedom, grappled with the institution of slavery. Early political movements reflected these tensions. The Federalists, led by Alexander Hamilton, championed a strong central government. The Democratic Republicans under Thomas Jefferson favored states' rights. The expansion of the United States westward brought new challenges and intensified existing ones. The acquisition of land, often through conflict with Native American tribes, raised questions about territorial rights and indigenous sovereignty. The issue of slavery, deeply intertwined with westward expansion, further fueled political and social divisions. This ultimately culminated in the Civil War, a brutal conflict that nearly tore the nation apart. The post-Civil War era witnessed Reconstruction, a period of rebuilding and attempting to integrate formerly enslaved people into society. However, progress was met with resistance, and racial inequality persisted. The latter half of the 20th century witnessed the rise of conservatism as a powerful force in American politics. Figures like Ronald Reagan emerged as prominent voices of conservatism, advocating for limited government, traditional values, and a strong national defense. Reagan's election to the presidency in 1980 marked a turning point in American politics. His administration implemented policies that reflected conservative ideals, including tax cuts, deregulation, and a more assertive foreign policy. The rise of conservative media outlets, such as talk radio and cable news, further amplified these ideas and contributed to a growing partisan divide. The Republican Party increasingly aligned itself with the values of social conservatism. The Democratic Party grappled with its own internal divisions, seeking to balance the interests of its diverse coalition. This ideological divide would continue to shape American politics in the 21st century, influencing everything from healthcare to climate change. The 20th and early 21st centuries presented a myriad of challenges and changes for the United States. The civil rights movement of the mid-20th century challenged racial segregation and discrimination, leading to landmark legislation like the Civil Rights Act of 1964 and the Voting Rights Act of 1965. These victories, however, did not erase the legacy of racism, and the fight for racial equality continued. The women's rights movement gained momentum in the 70s, advocating for equal pay, reproductive rights, and an end to gender-based discrimination. The Roe v. Wade Supreme Court decision in 1973, legalizing abortion nationwide, became a focal point of political and social debate. The late 20th and early 21st centuries also saw significant economic shifts. Globalization and technological advancements led to increased interconnectedness, but also resulted in job displacement and income inequality. Issues like climate change, healthcare, and immigration dominated political discourse in the 21st century. These complex and interconnected issues presented significant challenges for policymakers and underscored the need for innovative solutions. Section 4. The 2024 election, a nation divided. The 2024 U.S. presidential election was one of the most consequential in recent history, highlighting the deep divisions that had come to characterize American society. Donald Trump, having lost the 2020 election but maintaining a fervent base of support, announced his candidacy for a third time. His campaign, fueled by populist rhetoric and grievances against the political establishment, resonated with voters disillusioned by the status quo. The Democratic Party, after much internal debate, nominated Joe Biden for a second term. Biden campaigned on a message of unity and experience, emphasizing his record on issues like the economy and healthcare. The election cycle was marked by intense campaigning, record-breaking spending, and a constant barrage of media coverage. Key issues that dominated the 2024 election included the economy, healthcare, climate change, and social justice. The election results were incredibly close, with Trump ultimately emerging victorious. Section 5. The Aftermath and Beyond, Uncertain Futures. The aftermath of the 2024 election was met with a mix of shock, anger, and uncertainty. Trump's return to power, despite his controversial first term, signaled a continuation of the populist wave that had swept across the globe. His presidency was marked by continued polarization, as he doubled down on his nationalist agenda and sought to dismantle many of the policies enacted by his predecessors. Biden's supporters, grappling with defeat, questioned the future of the Democratic Party and the viability of its message in an increasingly polarized political landscape. The 2024 election underscored the challenges facing American democracy, from misinformation and foreign interference to voter suppression and the influence of money in politics. The long-term consequences of the 2024 election and its aftermath remain uncertain. The future of American politics hinges on the ability of its leaders and citizens to address the root causes of polarization and find common ground on critical issues.